Parker, I can't see anybody else.
Jesse.
Jesse. Nice. So I wanted you guys to write this down. Here's the question. Why don't I call more realtors? What's stopping me from calling realtors? So if we start there, I think that would be fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Gloricel, spent 30 seconds.
Start off.
What's stopping you?
For me, honestly, it's just I get easily distracted. It's distraction. It's like squirrel, and an email pops up. I get a text message. I get a question from a lead. Justin, my LOA, asked me something, and then I hop into a file, and then it's a snowball, and so it's just distraction. I start, and then I just get distracted.
Okay, so
I'm working on it.
So distracted by files, distracted by to-dos, just basic distraction.
Yeah. Phone calls, text messages. Yes.
Well, yeah. Go ahead. Well, here's my thought. As soon as the file stuff, becomes like that's not it, and then your assistant needs something, my thought would be, Gloricel, even deeper. Then it's like, oh my God, I got to go pick up my laundry. Oh, from the dry cleaner. Oh my God, those shoes that I didn't return to Nordstrom's. I should try. Oh my God, I'm at home right now. I should just. What I should do is go in my closet and find them. Oh my God, there's all this stuff. It's so weird. I should just spend the next 30 minutes organizing my guest bedroom closet because it's so messy.
We can find every reason, right?
Yeah. It's not just the loan file work and the LOA. It's probably, ultimately, it's deeper. All right, Parker, why do you not call more realtors?
I think there's when you really sit down and think about it, I think there's a couple of things and I've had some notes that I wrote myself about this actually for motivation, but I think first it's mindset, right? If your mind's not in it.
Okay, whose mind? I asked you the question, not
my mindset.
Okay, so you choose to have a weird mindset. Good.
Yeah, if I got like shitty thinking or whatever it is, if I'm just not in the mood that day to connect with people, I'm not going to do it.
There you go. So
so mindset, and then my focus, right? Am I moving forward to call more realtors, or am I moving away from calling more realtors? Like, what is my focus that day? So if there's something else that has my focus, then I'm not going to be focused on calling more realtors. So I'm going to be focused on doing something else.
Got it. Nice.
And then I think how I overcome those is I have to have commitment and accountability. That's what I come up with.
We're going to get to that. We're just talking about why we don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, I threw it all in.
No worries. Jesse, why do you not call more realtors?
If I had to say like one thing, it's probably like the planning of it. I know a lot of it is if I have a game plan that I'm going to call my list of realtors and invite them to this Zoom and Learn, like I'll call every one of them back to back. But if I wake up today and I don't say I need to call X number of realtors, then I won't. Like same thing, there's distractions and other things, but really it's going to be like, I need a plan. So when I don't have a plan, then I don't call.
Love it. So just lack of a plan. Brian, why don't you call more realtors?
I can. I just mostly focus on leads, stuff coming in, old leads, going over stuff like that.
He helps with pre-approvals, not really calling realtors, but.
Gotcha. McCain, why don't you call more realtors? What's your reason?
I think it's getting better, but at the beginning, it's more just it was fear around their response or when you get on the phone, there's never, you don't really say anything bad or anything that, they usually say what you want to hear, but it's just like in my head before I call them, it's like, oh, they're going to be like, dude, stop calling me. Like, I don't want to meet with you.
Preconceived notions.
Yeah. Aaron, why don't you call more realtors?
Not knowing what to talk about on a consistent basis. But this thing that Michael Anthony put together was good for that this week. It's like a reason to call. So get the invitation. I thought Michael's note about personally inviting them with a phone call is the most effective way.
Awesome. I love it. So just not knowing what to say. Andy, why do you
other than the hey, just checking in kind of thing, but like when you actually have
No, but the root of
material.
why you don't call more realtors is you're not sure what to say.
Right.
Andy?
I'm sorry, I just popped on. What was the question?
The question was, when you show up late for a coaching call, what should the penalty be? No, the question was,
100 burpees.
Why don't you call more realtors?
It's just, I would say the mental block around getting the value proposition across in a non-salesy enough way to actually get a meeting. And that's part of what we talked about with our call on Wednesday was like, it's easier to approach people that we know and that, that know people that we know. But it's how do you get in touch with the people that have never heard your name before, or doesn't have like a connection in between, a mutual connection. And it's just that value proposition. So I would say right now, for me, it's like, how do I get that value proposition across in the first 30 seconds without sounding like a used car sales guy?
Okay, that's good. April, why don't you call more realtors?
For me, it's time management, just not managing my time accordingly. I'm trying to get better at that.
Just you don't put a time in, and then it's never going to appear to call.
Right.
Andy, Aaron, Brian. Did I get Brian? Brian tried. Gloricel.
Yeah.
Justin, why don't you call more realtors?
Twofold. But first, Jesse and Peter Parker, you guys must have the same interior designer, same chairs, pillows, plants. It's a good looking house you guys got there.
Smells better in my room. Promise.
Twofold, Brendan. One is, when it comes down to it, on my to-do list, I'm going to do the easier things first. And I view that calling realtors as harder because I don't have as much practice or experience doing it as I do the other stuff that's easier. So I end up doing the easy stuff first and push that to the end of the list and do it last. That's one reason. The other is, just echoing, I forgot who said this, but just the not knowing what to say all the time. Not wanting to sound cheesy and
just the content of what you're supposed to say. Sam, why don't you call more loan officers? Because your role isn't really to call realtors.
about 34 hours in a day. Right.
And a lot of times because I'm scared, Brendan.
You're scared. Got it.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, cool. I think everybody has. My reason I don't call more realtors is very simply, I don't time block the time, and I don't specifically target my ideal realtor with a prep that's my prep. And I'll tell you guys, Benton put a list of realtors. He did a nice job about 60, 70, 80 days ago of researching. It was probably about 10 realtors. He did a little quick bio because I said to him, hey, put this in front of me. And by the way, Benton, I still have it. And it's funny, I looked at it and I was sizing it up, and one of the ladies had this background. And I'm going to actually call that list because you've spent the time doing it. But this is what I found. It has to come from within for me. It has to be internally motivated.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned that if I don't respect them, I have all these rules in my head. Now, enough on me. Everybody's fessed up why you don't. Here's what I think. I think that the best loan officers, if we're judging the best by those that do the most business, because here's the weird part. As I get older, the doctor that does the most heart surgeries probably isn't the best doctor. They probably just have a great marketing engine. The lawyer that does the most cases probably isn't technically the best lawyer. They're probably pretty bad. They just market really well. The loan officer that closes the highest volume, guys, isn't a better loan officer than some of the technicians on this call. And by the way, they're not necessarily even better with clients. They're just better at calling more realtors and builders and financial planners, asking for the business and doing a good enough job to maintain the relationship. And understand this, each one of you that said, hey, I don't know what to say. I think one of our jobs here today is to figure out, and I've got a pretty good brainstormed idea that Michael has already implemented, and it's called the group conference call, where there's a panel and there's a topic. And Michael, you beat us all to the punch because we're all blowing up our realtors. And I hope the call has 100 agents on it, because there's 15 of us that are getting our realtors on there to talk about the reno programs, which, by the way, Michael, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being you know everything and 1 being you barely know your ear hole from your you know what hole, where are you on your knowledge of all of our reno programs? And don't give me anything over a 6, please.
Oh, no, it's probably a 3.5.
Okay, great. So you're the expert. You're the expert hosting the call.
Yep.
So
Okay,
guys,
maybe a 4.
So know this. When Michael did 85 million or 90 million a couple years ago, and he has 50 to 60 realtors, and we just did our annual planning event here in Nashville, and he's the first to print on November 16th, I'm hosting a call on reno loans, and he's a 3 in knowledge. Just understand that it's your fear. All of your stuff is just a fear of stuff that is just a fear. Because Michael has fear, right?
Yeah.
And you just said, hey, I'm the expert. So
I'll be the expert by Thursday.
Yeah. So everyone, by the way, we want to help, and I want to have 20 of my people on at least. And I hope my team wants people on, and I hope everybody in Atlanta. And if you guys are on this call, get Michael's invitation and get some agents on and be part of it. Because here's the thing, Aaron, you're the expert on low down payment, weird credit, shitty deals.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you.
That's a great pitch.
No, Aaron is the guy that can lobby any deal to a closing. You just are. So do you know more about USDA, FHA, and hey, weird credit stuff? And like, here's what I know. So I say on December 14th, we have a low down payment webinar, and Aaron, it features you, and we all invite our guests, and somehow we have it. It just sounds like navigating credit and low down payment borrowers for realtors.
Mm-hmm.
And if a realtor's like, oh my God, that sounds cool because that seems to be all my leads, then Aaron, you're the expert, and put together a thing. And then Michael will chime in, I'll chime in, and any other loan officer. Like, we can be a once a month call host and we can just do it in the middle of every month. And Michael's got us on the first one, and Benton, you can organize the marketing part. And eventually it just becomes 12 touch points for us to call realtors and say, hey, we host a monthly realtor webinar that's kind of organic, and it's awesome.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, Brendan, that was part, I can't remember who had said, somebody out of your branch said, hey, I want to do these lunch and learns, or Zoom and learns, but I just don't know where to start. It's the fear part, right? So I'm like, hey, I've been doing them for several years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. But, so now I'm like, hey, let's just invite the whole office, right? And I feel that, sometimes if I keep it to just Atlanta, I may have 12 realtors on there. I might have 30. You never know. But let's just make it a joint, project, and
Yeah.
you guys can see how it goes. And again, it's a reason to call a realtor.
Yeah.
You have something coming up that you're inviting them to, right? So if we have one a month and you're calling twice a week to remind them about this, you've got 2 reasons to call every week. Right off, you're done right off the rip. So,
right. Well, I think it's done. Benton, it's our job to put the calendar out there, and let's just put it this way: knowing today is it's in 1 week. I don't think realtors plan too much further out than a week.
no.
And the ones we want don't.
Right.
But if we can have a good marketing thing ready 2 weeks in advance,
Yeah.
and then figure out what we're going to say the week of, and then open it up to feature one person to be the lead, but then others to chime in. I mean, and then we'll do an AI recording. We'll do sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll do an AI bot summary, and then you can send it out afterwards with highlights to your realtors. I mean, it's, back to just like,
You're top of mind.
yeah. And here's the funny thing. What is going on? This won't let me see the screen or see you guys. Join as guest. Brendan, join. All right. I've lost the screen. Okay, there you are. Sorry. I think that when we go back to the reasons why and content, and Andy, you had mentioned just like, God, just not knowing, sounding like a salesperson. And I mentioned like the best of the best. I think that they really just approach realtors the same way. They either have like HomeBot, they've got all the crap that everybody has, Mortgage Coach, all the garbage software horseshit. Oh, Dave Savage is on the call? No, but like these are just all these are all the bells and whistles. He sold it, by the way. These are all the bells and whistles that we all think we need. And the reality is, a realtor either wants more structure in their life, in their business. They either want more leads. They want techniques to start relationships. They want help marketing, whatever the F-bomb that means. They want to know some strategy that some other realtor did somewhere that could work for them. They maybe when they're really honest, they want to look at the economics of their business model and actually like need, I'm going to say, like business financial coaching help. The best of the best want somebody that they can rub elbows with and grow with and kind of, talk about their team and their dysfunction of being a leader. I'm just giving you the evolution of every realtor I've ever worked with, by the way, over 28 years. Some want just a technical expert that they're like, man, I've just met the smartest loan officer that can fix all my problems. Some want a product hole that they can fill. So like, I just mentioned 11 things that I pretty much know realtors want. And I mean, I don't know what the guy that in Boston that works for Guaranteed Rate that sits on a monster headset and closes a shit ton of loans does, but I'll guarantee you it's nothing outside of what I just said. Maybe it's I'm I'm the in-house at an office and I pay a fee, right?
Mhm.
Can anybody think of anything else that a realtor really, like, when Andy, you're like, I'm just concerned I sound like a salesperson. Every loan office in America sounds like a salesperson because they're selling one of those 11 or 12 things I just mentioned.
Yeah.
The issue is the realtor ready to hear it? Right?
Mhm.
Which one of those 11 launch sequences are they ready to hear and bond over? Hey, Andy, that sounds like a good idea. Let's meet.
Yeah.
I'll give you, here's what's funny. There's a realtor here who works in the big office where my big realtor works. And my big realtor, like, everybody loves her. She's like the alpha female. And she's got a big team. And, you know, her and her husband, they're studs. And this one agent in the office is kind of copying her. And she's got a team, and she even uses the same tagline, the collective. And I did a deal with her about a year ago. It went great. She was the listing agent. And I've met her at an open house. I've met her. She knows who I am. But as far as she acts, like I'm like a fart in the wind. Like oh yeah, what's your name again? Yeah, we can hear somebody. But so I just keep like chiming in on her social. She does a decent job she's got a lot of, like, she's the realtor that walks around with like the dreamy music in a new listing, and she's rubbing her hand along the marble countertop with like white. She's dressed all in white, and then her team is like sitting in the library. It's all like dreamy stuff. It's hilarious. So she does this post, Mike, about renovation loans or about renovations. And so I posted immediately on the thing, hey, that's awesome. And then I private messaged her about renovation loans. So here, I'm gonna give you this text chain back and forth. Ready? Oh wait. She had done this, like, what renovations, whatever. And I said, hey, Allie, Brendan here. I've worked with Katie the last 4 years and I'm her lender. We have 4 different renovation type loans that we're selling to clients all the time. If you're not opposed, I'd like to meet with you and show you the differences. Great post. She responded in 10 minutes. Hi, thank you. What is the current rate on a renovation loan? My response.
No idea.
10 minutes later. There are 4 varieties. Some are in the high 7s with fees, and others are interest only during construction phase and then modify to a permanent rate that's locked when the renovation is complete. High 7s. My ass. No response. I did another, I said, and then 10 minutes later, I put, the big thing now is to really look at each client's situation and dissect the deal. For some with 3%, because her big thing was like when to do a renovation. I said, for some with 3% fixed first mortgages on their homes, it's probably easier to just get a HELOC. Every deal is different. She texted me, hold on. She texted me the next day and said, what is the lowest amount you can get for a loan? Is 100K too low? Then she texted a minute later, I'm going on vacation, but I am personally interested, LOL.
So for herself, maybe.
I texted her, let's jump on a call or meet when you get back from vacation. She's never responded. Then I sent her the link to the renovation call yesterday. And I put, I'm hosting this call next week. I'll send you an official invite via email. What's your email? No response. I know her email. So like here's where I'm giving you guys the blow by blow. She's maybe a $20 million realtor, but probably down to less than a $10 million realtor trying to figure it out. She's probably got a ton of fear. And I think she has a lender that, MMI says she's sent like 4 deals to one person over the last, 14 months. So that means she's got a lender, right? If you see a realtor with 4, they've got somebody that they're sending business to.
Yep.
So I'm just playing cat and mouse here. And I think all of you, I give you this blow by blow just because it's like on a whim, we can connect to people. If we go back to the 12 things that we want to go after, the buttons we want to push, I'm just pushing a product hole button for this realtor based on her post about renovation loans.
Are you going to
Yeah.
email her an invite to that renovation?
Yeah, I know her email address. I have it. But I'm just, Justin, I think of it like this, and this is for men and women on the call. It's kind of like you're just doing this business chemistry thing. Like, is she going to show interest, Andy? If she does, yeah, my email is this. Great, I'll send it. Right? Versus I just send it and go, hey, did you get my email? Are you registering? Then I'm pursuing. And it's this constant, like, she clearly is moderately interested. So I just have to play the game. That's the other thing. We always talked about this, Michael. Do you remember that there's three walls? The wall on the right, if you're sitting in a room and you can't see the wall behind you, there's 3 walls. The wall on the right is a 100% actor. The wall in front of you is like 50% actor. And then the wall on the left is the real you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So remember this. What role are you today when you call a realtor? Are you the wall on the left, 100% April, 100% Gloricel, the real person? Or are you 50% actor? Or are you 100% fake ass? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is Gloricel. Oh my, this is amazing. Like Gloricel, like all of a sudden you don't even sound like you have Latino in you. You sound like American, like pure bruh. Like, hi, this is Gloricel. Have you ever seen when the people from England have an American accent, or like they completely lose all their tone and they become someone else? Like when we act like we're British, like all of a sudden Gloricel, the actress, is completely not herself. You're laughing. But here's my point. That's the struggle, Andy, is that if we really want to be ourselves and we really want to pick 1, 2, or 3 of the reasons why we want to work with realtors and we stick to that, it would be successful. It would just take longer, right? It would just take longer because you'd have to find the people that really like the real Andy.
Yeah.
So,
Sam.
Excuse me?
Question. Sam had a question.
It's not so much a question as it is a statement about what you're saying, Brendan, and everybody should know this because I'm chasing realtors all day long. We are not top priority for them right now.
No.
They're very nervous about their businesses, and this goes top to bottom. They're missing calls. They are so hyper concerned about their businesses. And what you guys need to know is there's never been a better opportunity to talk to them, because if you can help them do business, they're going to listen to you. The trick is to make your 5-minute elevator speech about showing them how they can do more business. It's that simple. They're in a panic.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing, Sam.
Good point.
One of the realtors, great point. One of the realtors that we work with, that he's always checking in with me. He's a very business-minded realtor. His name's Jason, and he's always kind of judging what we're doing and giving me feedback, and it's great. And he said, he goes, here were his 2 tips that I thought were awesome. He said, hey, number 1, realtors suck at social media. So in your building, if you created a booth where you could change backgrounds and do whatever, and you bought a decent enough camera, could you just host social media, week or day or one day of the month and bring in all your realtors and, try to go for as long as you can do it, to where you're hosting their social media and you interview them and you have like 12 points of content, you film it, and then you send it to them. And then they have posts that they can make.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I thought that was a great idea. His next idea was when he saw like how we do, like the roadmap to success for realtors, which is very similar to the one for loan officers. And then we do like, Michael, the flow chart, or, like accounts pyramid for realtors, or, teaching them like their own version of Smart Start for their buyer consult.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, listen, that's how realtors can grow their business. So he was like, hey, why don't you and Benton and your loan officers every morning for 1 month go on social at like and he said, pick 30 minutes. Everybody get their laptop and you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, and you're on Instagram. And he said, everyone change their Instagram handle to we can double realtors, or we help realtors double their business in a down market. So that's what, like, every one of us, pretend all of us on this call, that was our tagline. We help realtors double their business in a down market. Then he said, if you literally launched an all-out assault on their social, but the launch was just simply positive feedback, and like, so all of a sudden Betty Smith at Remax posts about new construction in Alpharetta, and Michael comments, oh, that's amazing, it's such a growth market. Gloricel says, yeah, it's so cool, that new coffee shop out there. April goes, yeah, I love it, there's no traffic out in that neighborhood. Just great post, saw that you sold some, whatever. Like, all of a sudden she gets blown up, and who is going to notice it?
They are.
They are. Or if she has a team, who's going to notice it?
The team.
Yeah, the
whoever's
marketing,
monitoring. Yeah.
who's ever monitoring. If they look and click on Michael Anthony, then Gloricel, then April, then John, or whoever, or Brendan, and like all of our Insta is, we help realtors double their business in a down market. Jason was like, if you committed to that for 4 to 6 weeks, and then you had the formula, like the formula was, oh, you noticed, you called, hey, what's this double my business in a down market? Then we have to systematically decide what that really is. Like, well, what we'd like to do is for you to come to our office and we'll show you a couple tools that we've used to help realtors really blow up their business. By the way, Andy, what would it be, in your opinion?
Accounts pyramid and how to approach business people.
Yeah, accounts pyramid, number one. Hey, when they come in, you shake their hand, 15 minutes, warm and fuzzy. Here's coffee. Our office looks nice. Cool. Hey, I want to show you a form. Have you ever called a financial planner and asked them about their business? No. What do you mean? How do I do that? Well, I don't have any money to invest. Why would I call a financial planner? Hey, ding dong realtor, they have 400 clients that own real estate. What? Yeah. So if you called and found out they don't really like any realtors, and then you impress them with your approach, they'd actually start referring you their clients. Really? Yeah. You'd actually start getting $1 million listings that you could sell. Oh my God, Andy, you're a genius.
Yep.
Damn, I didn't even think you had a brain, but you're a miracle worker. Like that. Okay. There would be number one, teach them accounts pyramid. By the way, I think realtors Michael, what would be your second tool in this arsenal of we double your business in a down market?
I think I would look at, do they have a database? Believe it or not, some realtors don't even have a true database that they market to.
Okay, so big picture, you would show them a marketing calendar and how the Ultimate Business Partners marketing calendar approach.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's the thought. If we nailed this down, what was a system we could use with tools? Because Michael, you said database. And if you came into a meeting with an average realtor and said, do you have a database? Then the question would be, it opens up a whole can of worms. That's like, is there a system that we, or is it like, is there something we could teach? Is there some tool that we have that they could then just subscribe to? Or is it just like, hey, you've exposed the weakness that they don't, and that they probably should get an assistant, get all their Outlook and all of their slop together and put it in a CRM? I think the average decent realtor now is using one of 3 or 4 CRMs that realtors use. But you're right. Do they mail anything to them, or do they even have a market?
Yeah. What do they do? What do they do with it? Right.
What would another approach be to doubling their business if they came in and said, hey, we've seen all these social media posts. You guys seem like you have your shit together. I'm interested. What else could we do? Counts pyramid, marketing calendar. Anybody else have anything jumping off the page?
I don't know if they would love to hear this, but I mean, it could be as simple as Smart Start. You know,
sure.
Your clients come in for a Smart Start, they're more ready to go buy.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go ahead, April.
I was going to say I provided a realtor that realtor theme day thing because they said they kind of stumble on even just getting started, and it was great conversation and a great learning tool. So she shared it with her team.
Just
so
theme. Yeah.
That realtor theme
Yeah.
daily thing.
Yeah. Just who do you call? The database on Mondays, people in pipeline on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, call every, yeah, it's a great idea. If we're thinking systems, here's the thing. We can all get them into a meeting and then we can throw out little nuggets, right? The nuggets can just be ideas. The question would be, could we, and Benton, we play with this all the time, could we tag that theme of we help realtors double their business in a down market, and then we actually print a workbook. And we don't give them the tools until they're like begging for the tool. Because April, if you just said over coffee, oh, I got this great idea, just call business people on Monday. And they're like, oh my God, April, that was great. The question, if they've never even heard of it, what's the likelihood that they're going to implement it? So my brain always goes down to what's your business look like? And I always love that damn flow chart. Like if I could flow chart every realtor in front of them, like have magic markers and a glass board in the coffee shop and go, here you go. Here's what your business looks like. That to me is always like, I'm trying to figure out where their hole is, or do they even know what their business looks like? So I feel like that flow chart would be one of them. Like we can help you. And it sounds so boring. Maybe we could call it something new and come up with a cool name, like a business vision mapping.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we'll help you with your business vision map. Well, what's that? Your marketing, your operations, and your finance all on one page with theme days and marketing calendars blend in and job descriptions and outcomes. Holy crap, April, you're a genius. Hey, Benton, I don't know how to do this flowchart thing. Can you do it for a realtor for me? No, April, I'm too busy.
Hey, I think on this top, so for me too, it's also preparation of, I need to revise my prospect list. Like I need to do a little research and a little homework on, and I think all of us might need to do this is, between now and 2 weeks from now, put together 20 prospects, right?
Yeah.
Like do some research, do whatever you got to do, delegate it, whatever, but
Hey,
put together.
By the way, Michael, I love this. You just said do it with research. How could we come up with 10 to 20 names? Let's brainstorm this now.
Yeah.
Michael said do research, right, Michael?
Yeah.
Be specific on how you would do that. Tell me how you would do that.
So for me, there are people that I see, for example, for me that I see on Instagram, these realtors that are in Atlanta. So I would look, I could go to MMI and see what their production is, see who they use. And that could be, that could be, it could be as simple as that. So, and there's just people that I know that I want to meet that I know do good business in the area.
By the way, okay, real quick, just so I'm very clear, they're on your Instagram. You look them up and you see some numbers, whether it's list side, buy side, they work with Bob Schnellenby at Atlanta Bank and Sheila Smith at Cross Country.
Yeah.
Okay, now what? I mean, are you deterred or are you motivated?
I don't think I'd be deterred. I mean, I just want to know a little bit about them. And if there's something that, if they don't, if they're on social, but they're not doing a lot of business, then then the question would be, well, is this somebody that I want to target? Right. I just want to know what I'm getting when I'm making that call.
Okay. So the MMI, by the way, the reason why I'm questioning the MMI, you want to know why I'm questioning the MMI?
Yeah.
We never had it, Michael, until 2 years ago, and we called realtors for 25 years.
Right. Well, the old way, with what Rashida did for me was she'd just go to the brokerage and look at the roster and just start calling everybody. I mean,
right. The old way worked.
It did.
Right. I'm just arguing that the new way might create a barrier and one more to do.
Yeah.
You had me at hello. Hey, I have realtors on my Instagram. Call them all. If they're on your Instagram, hey, I saw your Instagram. My name's Michael Anthony.
Yeah.
By the way, what if you inspired them? Their production was shit, and then all of a sudden, their next 2 buyers you got, and and then 12 months from now, it said their yearly production 800,000. Michael Anthony, 2 deals.
Point well taken. Hey, listen, point well taken. I've got a shit ton of realtors I get 2 deals a year from. I mean, that's my business.
I would argue to all of you, MMI is the Gen Z. I need to figure out what I'm doing before I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm a Gen Zer and I need to know how to make $1 million in 8 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
take it easy.
I'm teasing these Gen Zers, just call the fucking people.
Yeah.
How about this? If you have a list, my thought is amass the list any way you can.
Yeah.
And if you need more ammo, question yourself. Because if every realtor is scared right now and Sam gave us the cheat code, they're all worried. If we push that right button and we motivate that right realtor at the right time, and all of a sudden a layup open house lead walks into their open house and they say, hey, call my guy McCain, and it's a one-shot deal. The people are easy as hell. They come in for a smart start. They love you, and then they go under contract. What do you care if the realtor did 20 million last year or 20,000 last year? What do you care?
Yeah.
It's easy. It's easy to talk about shoot for quality when there's so much business out there and you don't want to waste your time. But when there's 70% less of the business, I think our goal, by the way, if the meeting goes terrible and you know that they just aren't biting our bait, okay.
Yeah,
well,
that's true.
Invite them on our new monthly conference call where we do product pushing and maybe they show up. So here's a summary and here's a thought.
Can I
Go ahead.
interject right quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
What about also one of those monthly meetings being the focus, doubling their business in a down market?
That's 100. We could tie this in to that's the slogan. And thanks to, by the way, this is all from Jason. He works at Caldwell Banker and he's making about $700,000 this year. He landed a monster builder because he target markets 4,000 homes. That's how I met him. He mailed me a postcard and he's a sharp dude. So he's saying this is what realtors would bait on, not Brendan. So if we did this and Benton, we used a tight little, here's our 10-page bound workbook that when they show up on how to double your business in a down market, we can print the realtor roadmap to success. We can print the account pyramid. We can print the marketing calendar. We can print the flow chart. We can print the VPA model if they haven't done any planning. All this shit we have. And then we can say, hey, here's the workbook, but back page, hey, you came to my office. If I'm going to give this to you, do we start working on closing techniques? Because that's what, in the end, I think the best loan officers get commitment somehow more so than the average loan officer. And that commitment is either a verbal commitment, it's a physical commitment to meet, it's some level of a commitment, so that when that first deal that's kind of squirrely and weird, it just doesn't blow up the whole relationship. Because you guys know, like, if you get a brand new relationship with a realtor and they send you kind of an a-hole client that's squirrely as hell, and the deal's just moving all around, and the plane lands bumpy, then you judge yourself on the realtor relationship by the quality of the client they sent you, which is completely unfair to you. But a better loan officer is probably better at saying, hey, this client's really tough. I don't want you to judge me. I know we've had some great meetings, and I know you've started this accounts pyramid thing. I don't want to lose momentum on what we're building based on this weird client, because the client's just it's a tough go because it's a hard loan. Can you forgive me, Mrs. Realtor? Like, the best loan officer out there says that, and the realtor says, yeah, Michael, you've kind of crapped the bed on this one. I feel, well, maybe not. You know what it is? Michael, thank you for bringing that up. This client is shitty. They've been rude to me and my team too. Well, you know what? You're so right, Betty. I mean, they cussed out my processor the other day. I didn't say anything to you. I didn't want to bring this up, but let's just move on, because you and I didn't we commit in that meeting last month that I would help you grow this part. You want to grow your business, and you committed to 4 buyers with me for the year. Yeah, we did that, Betty. Yeah. So that's where I think, like, ultimately, if we have a good once a month webinar that we host, that we get a bunch of people and we send that, we have a very good, are we going to do this? Everybody sit in a room and we all work together. Jason's concept was that if a small office of 5 to 6 loan officers targeted 100 to 200 realtors and they blitzed their social media over 30 days, he goes, I will guarantee you that every loan officer would meet at least 20 of those realtors. Guaranteed. Because the momentum would be too great. Yeah. So I don't know, Benton, if the 5 of us can do that. And Michael, I don't know if the 5 of you could do that, but that's a theory. And maybe we all bond together and we try to figure out, could we do it 2 days a week? He was like, sit down every morning and do it, but could it be done on a Tuesday morning and a Thursday morning from 8 to 9 o'clock, especially when it's slow?
Yeah.
And if we lob this out there, if these are just ideas, yeah. April, it's like your theme day idea for a realtor. Sounds great, but now are we going to actually do it?
Well, that could be a training. I think we do a Zoom and Learn every month, and we alternate between business to, like accounts pyramid, building your business, how to get more business. And then the other month is more product related. So we can go product training, product sales training, product sales training, whatever. Theme days could be a Zoom and Learn, right? I mean,
And what time is the call next Thursday? Just so I know.
It's 10 o'clock, 9 Central.
9 Central. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get 10 realtors on that call.
And I will say this in conclusion, guys, ladies, gents, I am telling you, 80% of the people that show up on the call were personally invited with a phone call. Realtors get spam. They get these things, and they'll tell you, yeah, I did see that. Save the date. Can you send it to me again? You have to verbally invite. They will not show up. I send it to 208 realtors. 208. Yeah.
Wow.
And if I didn't call anybody, I might have 7.
Right. Michael, can you say that again, but with a Casey Kasem accent?
Sure, guys. I'm just telling you that you need to make the phone calls.
This is Michael.
Hey, this is it. This is why we call. And you block. And listen, another idea is like, hey, accountability. That's the reason probably I don't make enough phone calls. If we set a power hour that everybody can log on Teams and hit mute, and we're making calls, and we can see each other making calls at the same time every day for an hour. It's not a lot. That would certainly help. Just an idea. Just an idea.
Another idea. I love it, Michael. I'm going to make phone calls, send texts, and leave voicemails around the renovation call at 9 Central next Thursday, the 16th.
Perfect.
I have hired an expert from Atlanta. This guy he may as well be Rain Man. He knows more about reno loans than anybody. and he works inside my company.
And don't throw me any hardball questions next Thursday,
Well,
please.
there
Don't
might
do it.
be a-
Yeah.
There
You'll
might
see
be
me
a guy
dancing.
named Sam Price on the call too. He's annoying, but he's a genius as well.
Hey,
Mhm.
it's a high level training. I'm not going into too much detail, but high level, who, you know, what it is, who can qualify, how can we sell this? How can realtors sell this? They have a dog listing. How can they sort of paint the picture of what this could be?
Yeah.
All right.
Amen. All right. Great
All right.
call. Thank you guys for attending.
Thanks,
This was
everybody.
this was
Appreciate
possibly
it.
the
Thank
best.
you.
This was the best real lender training call in America today, just in case you guys are wondering.
You're damn right. See you,
Yeah.
everybody.
Hell yeah. All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.